All right, thanks for joining, everyone. I appreciate the time. This should be a fairly quick call. What we're really trying to do is complete 3 different activities by the end of close of business on Wednesday night. So finance and supply chain can start doing their forecasting snapshots of demand planning from a units perspective for supply chain and a dollars demand plan to get to a financial forecast so we can go to the street and say, here's our expectations of Q2 and beyond. So what we're really trying to do here is 3 different distinct processes. I'll highlight what you see on the screen. Is the first process is around forecasting accuracy. We got to make sure every deal that's open and has schedules or doesn't have schedules, so SaaS deals, is complete and accurate. All the critical fields that are used for different various reporting, segmentation, stuff of that nature, have to be accurate. And what I've done is I've highlighted what are those fields right here. So we have reports that slice and dice the data based off of these fields at an opportunity level. And then, of course, opportunity products and the downstream schedules for hardware components are also in play, where we need to make sure those are accurate. As best you know it from your customer. It's okay when things shift around, right? But it's not okay when we don't have deals in the pipeline or in Salesforce and they come last minute. So a good example of that is we shouldn't have too many big customer deals, opportunities created in the month that they close, right? We all know sales cycle for some of these is a lot longer. So make sure that all your opportunities are in Salesforce, they're accurate. These specific fields on the opportunity product, and the schedules need to be current and accurate. We can jump into Salesforce later and just look and highlight those fields on a page layout so they become more tangible from when you're going through this activity. Second is DaaS, right? We're transitioning and pivoting to from hardware deals to a DaaS model for OBD devices. We only have 1 DaaS deal in the system. I get a lot of customer conversations haven't had it. Maybe customers aren't bought in. But where we know we're transitioning from a hardware deal to a DaaS deal, we need to convert that opportunity into a reoccurring revenue opportunity, right? Today it's set up as a hardware one-time buy in Salesforce. So there's some processes and steps you have to take in Salesforce to convert that hardware landscape to a reoccurring revenue landscape, and then make some changes to some fields so they get picked up in the reporting. Again, if all the details are right in this section, if you don't follow one of these steps, specifically this one, deal type field on an opportunity, transition it from a hardware value to a DaaS value, that DaaS deal will not show up in the opportunity, and truly, it probably won't show up on the TSBU monthly forecasting calls that we do for our top 30 accounts. We've made it real simple. Kananda's done a great job in that there's only 2 products for DaaS right now. The variant of their cell provider, AT&T, Verizon, maybe different for your regional locale, is irrelevant. We will modulate that based off the cell platform that is at the account level in the system. So when you have a DaaS deal, you pick product A or product B, and it's all determined on the term of the contract. So if it's a 36-month, you select this product that's highlighted right here. If it's a 60-month commitment, you highlight this product that's right here. Okay, so we'll walk through this in depth. Last but not least, to help PLM and supply chain management, we need to identify and validate that any opportunity that should have LMU5531 product on them is that the product is in Salesforce on the opportunity, and that the schedules downstream of the opportunity product are accurate. And I've created a very simple report. You can click on the link. It'll take you and show you all opportunities that have the LMU product family associated to them, so you can see what that schedule is for the remainder of this fiscal year. We're not so much worried about a rolling 6 months. We're just looking at Q2, Q3, and Q4. So with that, that's kind of the objective here. We have till the end of Wednesday night to complete this. Everyone needs to participate. I do not control when supply chain or finance snaps the line and pulls the data out of Salesforce for their financial forecast, nor their supply chain planning process. But they do use your information. They make hard business decisions based off of the information inside of Salesforce versus a lot of back and forth through email. So just go update your system to be the best that you know of it. And obviously, we'll snap the line on Thursday morning, but things will adjust after Thursday, which is fine. We have the snapshot, and it should be enough to get us directionally aligned. So that kind of brings to the why we're doing this. And obviously, these calls are how we're trying to help you guys be able to make these updates in a quick fashion. So with that, let me just go into Salesforce real quick and walk through kind of forecasting. And in conjunction, I'll show you how to update DaaS from hardware deals to DaaS. And then we'll come back and we'll finish with the LMU5531 process. So going into Salesforce, a good book. Let me just launch Salesforce. Okay, if we go into an opportunity, I'm just going to go into this one here. It's irrelevant, right? We can see that this is a hardware deal right away, LMU product line. We hover over, we can see it's the LMU product families. This is a hardware deal, so it's a perfect example of fields that need to be correct on a hardware deal, and then we can go through that DaaS process. So Ali, I hope you don't mind, I'm using this as an example, but it should be the same for all hardware deals in the system. So critical fields that you have to keep up to date. Type. Is it a run rate deal or is it new business? New business, we're only segmenting out new business deals for our board of director KPIs that go out quarterly. Those KPIs are also on Carl's weekly sales flash. So if you have a new project, if you have a new customer, if you have a new program they're not continually ordering, you want to select new business as the type value, okay? Run rate is they've been buying this product for a while and they continue to buy it, so I need to continue to schedule out the products because it's not technically a new project or new program, it's just continual purchase over time, okay? The second field that's critical is this product class. It's very important that it says telematics, it says SCI, you know, there's a ton of different values. Hardware opportunities only have a few values, but if we transition to a SaaS opportunity, you're going to see this list grows pretty fast, right? We have fleet, we have all these other SaaS type of deals from a product class perspective. If you have a deal that's both OEM and telematics, make sure you highlight that and bring it over because there's different reports that are different that segment this information. So an example is our OEM forecast that we're now pulling out of Salesforce. It's really any opportunity with OEM in here. It can be a device, right, a hardware device, but it's also an OEM deal. So it's critical to have the right information selected from a product class perspective. The third one, which is near and dear to my heart, is a new field we just released, about a month and a half ago. This is how we segment out hardware, DaaS, and SaaS. So going forward, this is critical in that this is how we're measuring information. This is how we're cascading information to the board of directors. This is how Carl's looking at it. So show me DaaS, show me SaaS, and show me hardware deals, and they shouldn't be mixed together, right? We know that once we go to a quoting tool, you will be able to quote both hardware and SaaS deals or products at the same time. So this field will have an additional deal type probably that says hardware plus SaaS, right? Or DaaS plus SaaS. We'll need to bake that in.
Hey, Chris, I have a question.
Hey, Dan, we're recording this. Can I put you on mute and then we'll come back to questions?
Oh, yeah, my bad. I'll put myself back on mute.
No worries. I can mute you. Okay. So again, these three fields are critical. Obviously, the account that the deals roll up to is critical also. So these four are critical that they're current, accurate, and to the best of your knowledge. Additional critical fields that we pivot off of is obviously what's the total value, the TCV of the deal, the date it's closing. So for all deals except for run rate, new business opportunities, so it should look like this. Close date is the date that we will have a signed contract, okay? It's not the date we ship products, but it's the date we get the bookings, right? We get a new contract or we get a PO, stuff of that nature. Stage is critical because we only forecast level 3 and above. And so if you have early stage opportunities, you may want to just have those as level 1, level 2 if you don't want them included in the forecast. Level 1, level 2, I really say that's part of the pipeline, not the forecast. So that's kind of your playing field as you mature these opportunities. If you close out a deal as closed loss, you got to make sure you put in a loss reason. Obviously, it's critical that we know the reason why we lost. It's not as important that we lost the deal, but why we lost is what's really important. Probability is a byproduct of stage, so as you change the stage, probability goes up. So don't worry about that. So total amount, TCV, close date, stage, and loss reason if the deal was closed, lost opportunity. And I'll go into the board of directors KPIs to show you what we're presenting to them, because I think that's critical that you guys all know that this information is getting bubbled up to at a very high level. And also, just so you guys know, you love Carl, well, make sure Carl gets paid, right? He has MBOs that are tied to these board of director KPIs that I'll show you a little bit later. A lot of this is good information to populate. We're not currently slicing data by these attributes. So really, it's just this upper section called the opportunity detail section, okay? Now, let's transition to step 2, converting a hardware deal to a DaaS deal. What you need to do, let me cancel out of this, is it's a multi-step process. The first process is you go into your hardware opportunity. We know it's a hardware opportunity because down here it says Opportunity Record Type is TSBU. Your first step is you have to click change. If you don't click change, it's not going to convert this whole page layout to a reoccurring revenue page layout. I don't have the option. I don't myself. If I logged in as Ali, then maybe I go ahead and do that just for the demonstration purposes. Give me 1 second. Okay, I no longer can log in. I'll have to connect with Jill. So just trust me. There is, when you click on Opportunity Record Type, you should be able to change it. I believe it says IMC. It doesn't display here because I don't have visibility. It's an IMC record type. Go ahead and select that. We'll change that eventually to a SaaS opportunity. So it's SaaS plus DaaS opportunity page layout. So it's more user-friendly, so you know what you're selecting. Once you select this, your opportunity will actually change from a hardware opportunity to a SaaS opportunity. So let me go into here. This is an example of a SaaS opportunity. Real quick, you can easily identify it as SaaS because it's contract months. So same thing applies for SaaS deals as hardware deals. Deal type, product class, type, account, right? Total amount, close date. The additional field that really is critical is contract term, because then we have to do an equation in the background to say how much revenue do we anticipate in the remaining months of this fiscal year. So close date, stage, those all apply. This is the new adder that has to be managed if it's a SaaS deal. So let's pretend that hardware opportunity that Ali owns is now this one, and we've already gone down and clicked the change in the system information. We go down, we've clicked change, we've selected IMC. We now have this opportunity record type. We've hit saved. The page layout looks like this. We need to convert a couple fields. So we need to update the product class to be as such. Remember I said there was a lot more options in SaaS deals. Here's the option. You want to make sure you bring this over. You want to make sure the deal type gets updated from a hardware deal to a SaaS deal. This allows us to pull the analytics and segment out SaaS versus hardware versus DaaS. I'm sorry, in this example, you go from a hardware deal to a DaaS deal, not a SaaS deal, right? DaaS is separate than hardware. It's kind of the hybrid in between. And then you want to hit save when you're on this opportunity. I'm not going to go ahead and do it, but pretend I hit save, and now deal type says it is a DaaS deal. What you want to do then is go and remove by hovering over products and clicking on delete on these opportunity products. And then once you have no more products, your dollars would zero out. You want to come back in and click add product. The easiest way to find your DaaS deals is simply by typing in the word DaaS. And real quick, we can see these two deals, right? I believe these are the products for DaaS, 36 months and 60 months. So depending on the term, you want to select the right product, and you would hit select, and you would go and put in what is the quoted price quantity. Same process as if it was a hardware deal. Just go ahead and populate that information. It's a DaaS deal, so there's no scheduling, which is fine. We're going to be moving away from scheduling soon. So again, change the record type down here from a hardware deal to an IMC opportunity record type. That equals that it's reoccurring revenue. Update the type field, not the type field, the product class and the deal type field. Come over here, put in contract month, hit save. Go remove the legacy products that are hardware focused, and then once they're removed, click add, type in the word DaaS, select whether it's 36 months or 60 months, and then put in the dollars and the quantity and the quoted price and such. You're done. You've just converted a hardware deal to a DaaS deal. So that takes care of 1 and 2 on this. The third process is you want to ensure that you have updated all the LMU5531 quantities and schedules that are related to you. When you click on this link from the email or the meeting invite details, it'll bring you to this report. It's filtered just on the LMU5531 product. It'll just show your opportunities. Ali, for you and for the regional managers, it will show your team's opportunities. So you would want to look at opportunity owner. Real quick, you can click hide details in a report just to get the overarching view of your landscape of accounts, what LMU products associated to it, and sum of quantity. This is what's critical that we update. The dollars is good because that helps get to a financial forecast, but the activity of doing this is to really benefit PLM and supply chain management who are working to figure out how we're going to deal with the LMU5531 demand so we can fulfill that demand. The quickest way to update these quantities, if you need to, is click on show details. I personally always like working from a report in this fashion. So this now shows the opportunity name. These are clickable to get to the opportunity name. As I review, and let's pretend these are the 2 accounts that I have LMU5531 products on, I want to hold down the control button on my keyboard and left click. What that does is it'll open up another tab. So if you look up here and I start clicking, you'll see that these opportunities open. If I'm trying to do quick updates from a report, I open up all of the opportunities I need to edit. I always start from the very far right. I go and make my changes here. I hit save. I add my products. Or go into my schedules and do adjustments as needed. Click save again after you update the quantities or blow out more rolling months if you're not forecasting, let's say Q3 or Q4 at this point. Hit save. Goes back to the opportunity product. Go to back, click on the opportunity to get back to the opportunity product. Just do a quick glance, make sure those required fields are updated, and then I cancel out this tab because I know I'm done, and I go on to update this opportunity. Again, same process. Once it's done, I just simply close this out. When I get back to my report, I just hit run report, and I see the updated quantities and dollars that are scheduled out for these products. Oops, I hit customize. We don't need to edit the report. It's written to be, your view of your data in your territory or region or area. So that's what we need to do. The deadline is to get this done by end of day Wednesday night. And again, finance and supply chain management will be scraping all opportunities in the system at that time so they can go on with their business needs. So with that, I'm going to unmute everyone and open up for questions. And let's see if anyone has any questions. So you guys are all unmuted. Russell, I can unmute you. Oh, Russell, you're going to have to mute yourself. It says you're on offline. So are there any questions about the process? Let me open up this page again, just so we can talk through this if there's any questions. No questions? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording here.